Hello, everybody. This is meteorologist Andrew Panero with a not really weather-related video, but this is more of a climate-related video. So I am going to be talking a little bit about climate change. It is a kind of touchy subject because I will be honest, there's a lot of evidence saying yes, it's out there. And I have evidence that also proves it is out there. There are some audiences that are showing no, there's not enough evidence, or no, it's all a hoax. Even President Trump himself said initially it's all a hoax. However, he's changing his mind, and the White House did put out that there is the potential for climate change. It's not just, no, it doesn't exist anymore. So even President Trump is starting to change his mind. So there is, and I'm telling you, there is evidence. And I have just a little bit of evidence here. I've conducted research on my own. I just wanted to talk to you and show you that. But first, I just want to talk about what climate change really is. So yes, the Earth's natural climate has kind of this wavy pattern. Think of it as peaks and a valley. So the Earth kind of always wants to stay level in the valley there. Goes up a little bit, warmer years, goes back down, cooler years, goes back up, warmer years, and kind of tries to keep this kind of happy medium with this little valley. What has been showing ever since really the Industrial Revolution age, with a lot more CO2 production, instead of, again, those peaks in the valley there, this kind of regular wobble that the Earth always does, it's a much stronger wobble between highs and lows. And right now with global warming, that is a thing and it's happening. So it looks like on those peaks and valleys, the Earth is going up higher than it has previously. The record warmest years have happened in the past decade. Just in the past decade, we've had a lot in the majority of the record warmest years. And I want to show you some research I did. What I did in this, I'll just explain it real quick. On December 1st, for the past, actually until 1984, December 1st, 1984 through December 1st, 2016, I took a graph of the high temperature, the low temperature, not really that relevant, but I also put in precipitation. But on the graph, I do have this. And now I want to switch to this spreadsheet and graph here. And now, so I'm going to show you here. 1984 starting, max temperature, 53. Oh, again, this is specifically at the White Plains Airport. I have done this with other airports throughout the tri-state region, such as Newark, JFK, and even at Central Park, and they're all showing pretty much the exact same thing. I'm not going to show you every single one of them. I'm just going to show you this one example in the Hudson Valley with the Westchester County Airport in White Plains. So 1984, December 1st, the high temperature was 53, the low was 41. Go up through 2016, although it's not much different, the high was 58, the low was 47. That's a trend. And as we go up and down here, you can see there are, like 2007 here was a pretty cool year at a high of 37 and a low of 20 on December 1st. So kind of a mixed bag what you think of when just looking at this. But I also took this and put it into a graph. And here, these two lines, the green is the low temperature and the blue is the high temperature. This is a trend line through them. You can see that the average for the trend line is going up. And it's going up for both the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature. So this, in a sense, shows global warming and climate change is happening here. We are seeing, over these decades, the temperature going up for the max temperature and the min temperature. So it's just a quick little example, but there are also many, many more examples. I myself, I have a Bachelor of Science in Meteorology. I've studied meteorology in college. I've studied it for 4 years. I've been doing this for about a decade now. And I also work on television forecasting the weather for a local news station. So I've been doing this not that long compared to when you look at the more seasoned meteorologists, but I have been doing this for a little bit of time there, and the evidence is there. The only question I can see some room for is whether this is human related or not. I personally think it is because when you take a look at the climate data from, like, say, the 1800s, before the Industrial Revolution really started, it's not as drastic until that Industrial Revolution starts. So that's where I'm leaning more towards this is human induced climate change, not that valleys, the peaks and the valleys, kind of that natural. This is the human activity causing it to go up a little bit more in that kind of peak valley situation I was showing. So I just wanted to put my thoughts out there with climate change and show you some research that I've conducted myself. If you want to leave any comments or questions, definitely leave them below. I will have more regular weather updates. I also have some car videos coming up too, so if you want to watch any of the weather updates, a little bit more climate stuff, maybe also those car videos, definitely subscribe below. Also, I'm going to have some interesting explainer videos coming up, kind of like where forecast models come from. What does a balloon have to do with a forecast model? I'll be explaining that coming up very shortly in some future videos. Have a great day, everybody. Enjoy the rest of this weekend coming up. Also, we're going to have some very nice weather. I'll talk more about that in a video coming up a little bit later.